Hi, everyone, and welcome to ASOTV podcast for Riverdale Season 2, Episode 2, Chapter 15, Nighthawks. I'm Nikki, and with me tonight I have Kim and Jacob. So, now that that's a thing, what'd you guys think of this episode?
I liked it. No, I like this episode because this episode reminded me of why I love the first season so much, and its character interactions and this small town coming together, and like you really get the sense of how small this town is because all of them can fit in the diner.
Mhm.
And of course, and we have Archie doing his Archie thing, and I still don't care about it, but whatever.
At least all the characters that we actually know, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
And something amazing happened this episode. Something absolutely amazing. Something that we did not think was possible. We will get to it when we get to it.
Mhm. So we actually start off the episode with Jughead commentating as per usual, and we see a nice little a, we're walking towards Pops, but then it transitions to it defaced with Death Diner, and it just looks gross. Like it looks like it's on the bad side of town.
But
It looks like a horror movie.
Yeah.
who would do that? Why would anyone do that?
I don't. I
Like,
mean,
there are some shit teenagers out there. I know, but
there
like,
are.
just feels like everybody loves this place.
Yeah.
It's a small town. They have nothing better to do.
We couldn't have egged the place. Like, I don't think these kids are that cool.
And I feel like it's like a Reggie Moose thing because they're all up in the bads right now.
Maybe Moose did do it, and maybe he suffered the consequences.
Maybe karma came back and bit a bitch. I mean, other than that, we find out that Pop has he's basically all his staff quit. He has just himself running the diner. Nobody's coming in, so he's has to sell. He has to put Pop's diner on the market.
All these properties, just
Mhm.
going out of
Yeah.
strange.
But, that's all we really got of that at first, and then it cuts to Archie making breakfast for his dad.
Badly.
It was a mess. I mean, he's trying, but like Fred was like, no, dude, I need to get up and walk around, and you know he just kind of like bolts out of the kitchen to answer a phone call. It's like, yeah, Dad, I gotta take this. Here, you finish cooking. You're off your feet. I mean, you're on your feet now, so you might as well just cook for me. But the whole time that this is going on, Archie's been waiting for a phone call from the sheriff on an update of his dad's case, but he keeps getting like pushed to the side or like like avoided by the sheriff, and he keeps getting like a deputy or like the the secretary and stuff, and
You know,
he's not happy about that.
Because
the
he's
sheriff
bugging.
has shit to do. There's only one sheriff and one deputy and one lieutenant in this goddamn town. So, like, Archie, you must understand.
Hmm.
Wait, it's not just this town. Because it sounded like he dealt with the next city over too.
Yeah, there was
Greendale.
Greendale. Like they're working together, obviously.
The economy in this county is shit.
Yeah. Yeah. The first bit of this episode was really broken up into a lot of things. Like it was like just to get you started on all the like side plots and then bring them together as one near the end. So like after we
Setting up
see
dominoes.
after we see Archie fumbling around with breakfast and leaving his dad to do the duty, um, we see Ronnie, Veronica wanting to avoid her dad at all costs. And so, I mean, she's not stealthy, and Smithers is like, there's your daddy. There's no escaping him. But Hiram wants dinner with Veronica, and she's like, no, Dad,
I didn't care.
I
Remember what happened last time?
yeah. Remember what happened last time? That whole story of when he actually got arrested in New York. She's like, no, I don't want dinner with you, Dad. There's no way I'm doing
I don't
that.
want people in my goddamn house coming in breaking the good flatware.
Hmm. Hmm. And so, Ronnie like bolts in, and we get the gang sitting at a picnic table at school, I want to
Not
say.
Scooby Gang.
Not the Scooby gang, not that gang. But
We're waiting.
it's Archie, Veronica. Kevin wasn't there. It was just Jughead and Betty, right? It was just the
Left out
four of them.
Kevin. Like, where is he?
See, like I said last episode, they did say, "Oh, well, Kevin's gonna have more screen time. He's more of a regular on the series." And like putting him in for like 10-second scenes is not making him a regular. Come on,
Yeah,
guys.
he was only like a couple scenes. And
Yeah,
it's because they've got all coupley, and he's not in a couple, so they kind
I,
of
I don't even. That's it. It's no excuse. Kevin is a great
No,
character,
no,
and he needs more time. And they're
he,
kind of
he
doing
does.
the same thing with the Pussycats as well. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna make them more of a regular, but like they got more screen time than Kevin, but they're still kind of giving them the same treatment. They're only putting them
Well,
in for like a few seconds, and then
they're
that's
the
it.
musical numbers, the ones that we need.
Yeah. Um. So Betty says she's gonna say Pops because Archie's, he's obsessed about the killer. Jughead is busy with his dad's like court stuff, like getting a hearing and like just the case and his offer to like lifetime in jail and all that jazz. So he's not sociably there to take on saving another place in this town that just seems to be desecrating in front of us. It's dying. It really is. Um, but Betty's like, I'll do it, and then Ronnie's like, yeah, I need to avoid my daddy, so I'll join you. Which I feel like Veronica's definitely taking the wrong choices, making the wrong choices when it comes to her dad. She needs to stand up to him at this point of the episode. She just needs to like tell him what's what and whatever.
spy on him.
Yeah, yeah, maybe set up some
Play his
bugs.
friend so you know what the hell he's doing.
Oh, but it. And then we see Jug and Archie go to the sheriff's office because Jughead's gonna be there sitting with the lawyer and his dad, figuring out what offer he should take as far as it goes for jail time. And Archie tries to talk to the sheriff, and the sheriff is just like, nope, 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 I'm too busy. And that's when he gets the call to go to Greendale. And we all know what that call is, but Archie has no idea. Um, and for FP, Jughead's dad, we don't really. It's 20 years jail time or 40 years. And I can't remember exactly what the stipulation was for the 20-year gap. Was it just pleading straight out and he gets 20 years
It's
or
a plea bargain. He's taking a plea bargain, and he gets 20 years. He gets a reduced sentence for taking a plea bargain.
right? Okay, and then if he doesn't take the offer, he gets the 40 years. Gotcha. Um it's like this is all the things that like makes all the plot beginnings start meeting in the middle and then it just becomes a big mesh at the end. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to lead us into what the main story is which is basically saving Pops. Um but we get Archie kind of hallucinating things again. I mean, I understand he's been through trauma, which, that happens a lot, like PTSD. But does anybody remember last season when he was hallucinating the guys in the masks that were
Yeah,
attacking him?
which that never went.
That never went anywhere. So I feel like there is something wrong with Archie's psyche, and it's been there for the longest time, and now it's just hyper triggered. Maybe the dark tone of what Riverdale is going to be is turning Archie into a killer? Or
I don't know about that.
I mean, long term down the road, yeah. I
Uh,
mean,
that'd be a turn, and
yeah,
that'd be an interesting one, and maybe it fits because Archie is a sociopath. I don't know.
we know
Would this?
he is a blossom line because of his mom. I
Well,
mean,
we
that's
don't
we
know that for
assume.
sure.
We're assuming that, right?
But the Blossoms, they well, the Blossoms are, fucked up, but the sub Blossom Cooper people, they're I guess they're kind of okay. They're still on the crazy side.
Hmm.
Oh, Betty's mom went bitch again.
Oh,
Rightfully so.
for good
But
reason though.
I don't want her to not be a bitch. I like this guy.
I mean, she seemed okay when Archie and Betty went and asked her about looking at Miss Grundy's body, because that's what
Yeah,
that's what
she was gonna.
the call in Greendale was. They were, getting her body and, going over the scene and stuff. So she was okay when Betty and Archie went to her and asked if she could do that, because they know she's done it before with Jason, so why not do it again? And so she complied. She did it. But I don't know. It's Miss Cooper is like touch and go for me, because like last episode she was like almost a saint. She was there
Yeah,
and she was helping and she was like really supportive, even of Archie, who she's like block him at the beginning of the episode, which was a joke, half
I think
joke.
yeah, that was a
Well,
joke.
it was a half joke.
It was a half joke. She wanted him to, wanted Betty to block him, but at the same time, it
She
was
should.
like, yeah. Um, I don't know. She really is a touch and go character, because she has multiple personality disorder. Let's just say that. We're going to label all these people with disorders because they
No,
really.
that's not fair to
No, it's
say.
not. But I feel like a lot of these characters, just small town, just wore them down.
They only need a vacation. That's what we need. We only need a vacation.
Let's
You
all
can
go to
go.
Florida.
You know what? You can go. You can go to. No, let's go to Coolsville. They have the best haunted attractions there.
Oh, because they need more spoops in
But
their
but
lives.
it's not their job. It's not their job to like uncover it. So
That,
they can get a bit of a break.
that's right. Okay. Um, we're getting back to Betty though. Her and Jughead actually go to the mayor to talk about two things.
Well, that was mistake number one.
Yes, they
You're
went to the
wasting.
mayor,
You're
who's one
wasting
of the
your
most
power
corrupt.
to win.
Yeah, one of the most corrupt adults in this town is the mayor. So wrong go. You shouldn't have went there. And they went there to talk about two things: one, saving Pops, and two, saving FP. And the mayor's like, nope, and double nope. I'm not doing
Well,
either.
to be fair now,
Mhm.
mm, Jughead's dad did, he didn't kill Jason. We've made that very clear. He did not kill Jason. We know who did. He did all the other shit,
Mhm.
you
He
know,
did.
that, that he's convicted for. So, he has to do his time. But, so like, I understand why the mayor does not want to mess with all that. But, Pop Tate's is a place where kids go to after school, or where they go to if they just like need a break from the world,
Mhm.
and people love that place. Like they do. Like everybody goes there. I assume it's the only restaurant in town. So you close it down. We're gonna have some starving people, and if she lets this place go, people are gonna be fucking upset, and there goes your job
Mhm.
come re-election.
It's also the point where, like, yeah, a lot of you're saying like the kids go there, they stay out of trouble. In most, we're gonna say the kids that actually go there aren't troublemakers,
Yeah,
sort of.
for the most part.
And the only reason why, I mean, nobody's going to Pops right now is because they are scared. Something bad happened there, and they just need to be reminded that Pops is and had many other robbings and things like that in the past, and still people were going there.
Yeah, but nobody died in there. You
We
gotta
don't.
remember.
I mean, that's true, but still people brought in guns and there was threats and things like that. So like the
There's
risk of
been snakes in there. There's been like worse things.
people just need to be reminded that Pops is the place to go for them. Simple as that. Like, the food
Like we don't
sounds
have a
amazing.
drive-through anymore.
That's true. Yeah, that
It's
that.
just where else are they supposed to eat? Have
Mm.
we ever seen them eat anywhere else?
No, I haven't even heard of another restaurant brought
So
up.
like until it's said otherwise, I'm just going to assume this is the only restaurant in the goddamn town.
Until we see more, we're assuming that the diner is the only place people can get takeout food. Um, and Betty tattled on Archie to Veronica about not sleeping in his room, which is really creeptastic of Betty.
Well, she
Well,
knows.
it's this whole small town girl next door thing. They talk
Mhm.
through the window and.
But
Well, we don't want we should intervene in this because we don't want people being sleep deprived. People go crazy.
yeah, it's proven. Archie is losing his mind. So Veronica mentions, maybe you should go see the school counselor, uh, you know, to get your mind at ease. And it looked like he was going to at one point, but then Reggie kind of
Mm.
interrupted that. And Reggie's a selling drugs, selling drugs.
I don't know. Actually, he's not selling drugs. You know what he's selling? I think he's selling sugar in a bag. Because the
That's what it
fuck,
looked like.
Looks like a pixie stick.
jingle
But
jangle.
Jingle jangle.
you know what the fuck is jingle?
It's not. It's not a thing. He
What
made it up.
what I
Did you look it
get.
up or do you?
No. I'm just no. The way that this whole conversation went down, it sounds like he made the shit up and gave him sugar in a bag.
I mean, Kim said, it looks like pixie sticks, but from what I got over the whole bit of the episode is that it's a major upper, and it not only keeps you awake, but it enhances your sexual drive, your energy, and a bunch of other things. So it's a stupid street name for a drug like that, but it exists in this story. This Riverdale because I mean, who calls a drug jingle jangle?
Only okay. So like, if this were the comics, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like the type of drug. Okay, if this was the comics, the original comics from the
Hmm.
50s, yeah, they would call it drug.
Oh. So it's actually a reference to a song from a 1969 song from an album by the Archies.
Oh, there's drug references in Archie songs.
As soon as they are. It's Jingle Jangle. It's a Apparently it was on the Billboard Hot 100 at the time. And it did too.
Okay.
Oh,
At 1 week in Canada in 1970.
awesome. I mean,
Random
we
fact.
we see Reggie come back a few times during this episode with the jingle jangles, but it's just I couldn't wrap my head around it. It
Like
was
Archie, just think about what you're doing for a second. You're having hallucinations, so you're gonna go on drugs.
hmm
Great job.
yeah. I he just needs something to keep him
No,
awake.
you just need sleep. This is what you need. You need sleep so that you can stop the crazy.
Yep. Yep. We've already come to terms with Archie not being the most intelligent character on
I,
this
I'm
show.
I'm well, I think that's like an understatement. I think he's a danger to society.
So
Oh.
the Pixie Sticks is the Jingle Jangle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what Midge Clump and Moose took later on
Okay.
in the episode. Um, then we have in the school in the newspaper room where is Betty still doing that? Like, is that still a thing?
I don't think so. I think it's just a club at this point, like that they don't do anything in.
Yeah. Well, at least Kevin was there, right?
He was there again, not doing anything or contributing to the story whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. But the most surprising part was Hiram walked in and it was like groveling to Veronica.
Like, what are you do? Do you need a visitor's pass? Who left the gate open?
Yeah. But it was funny because nobody has met Hiram yet. So Kevin and Betty were like the first of the friends to see Hiram. So they were like, "Wait, Daddy?" Like, oh, you saw in their faces they were actually terrified at the same time as being shocked.
Oh my god.
Well,
Urban Dictionary is horrible.
Let me
Wait,
guess,
what?
you looked up jingle jangle on the Urban
Yeah.
Dictionary.
Well, I didn't look it up. It was part of the thing. Well, it's a couple things. There's more than one definition. But
Okay.
one description of it is just something that is beautiful, easy, carefree, simply wonderful drugs.
So like Betty.
But there's another one that's very sexual.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure
We
it
can
is.
skip.
Yeah, we're gonna not talk about that one.
Yeah, we won't do it. Basically, a part becomes a present.
Okay. Okay. I think I
Oh,
got it.
I think I got it. Yeah,
Okay.
bows and bells. Gotcha.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
Hiram wants to help out with Pops, and Ronnie's like, no.
Well, she doesn't want to help.
No, he wants
Eh.
to he wants to impress Veronica by saying he wants to help, but she's still not having any of it, which is fair.
I mean, he did just get out of jail. So.
Hmm. So I didn't catch the name of the serpent that Jughead met up with to find out what he could do about FP's plea deal, but he's obviously a recurring character, and the theory that's been going around is that he is Black Hood.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because if you do, if you look at his eyes, you see the eyebrows, same color, same green eyes. So, I mean, it's a theory, and it is going around, but it's still just a theory. If it's right, it's right, but right now we still don't know anything
And
about Black Hood,
I'm saying that it's Sandra Dee's and Polly's brother.
which we don't know much about because he was only really talked about in passing last season. So he would be around, I would say, in his early 20s, right? So it is possible for him to be getting around and, have access to all these kinds of things that would make him a crazy person and a killer. Also, being abandoned is not fun.
And correct me if I'm wrong, the Blossoms have green eyes, right?
They do.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And they are Blossoms.
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah, so like,
So did we decide this kid was actually?
I
I don't
mean,
remember. I forgot.
there was that awkward dinner that, Riverdale
Because we
likes.
have to have.
We have to have awkward dinners. There with it was with Jughead and FP, was talking about um when Mrs. Cooper was pregnant in high school, and that's when they got the abortion for the older brother. But,
Not the abortion.
pardon?
Not the abortion.
No.
They,
The
that's when they.
adoption.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, okay. I thought it.
that's what he wanted her to do, but she refused.
Yes. So we know he's at least 7 years older than Betty and the rest of them. Well, older than Polly's the older sister, right?
And if they're presumably 15,
Mm-hmm.
and Polly, I think, is like a year older than Sandra Dee, so that would make her 16. So he would be, and this is just estimating, he would be 22, 23.
Yeah, he'd be in the early 20s. So that does make him very capable of, just getting around in general. Um, and nobody knows that I don't even think Miss Cooper knows that he's around and alive, like, if that's the case. So, well, obviously Mr. Cooper doesn't know.
Well, he wouldn't know, but I mean, we don't know. Maybe Mrs. Sandra Dee's mother,
Hmm.
maybe she's been, I don't know if she ever looked for him after some years, or maybe she just sort of like brushed it off, like that was the thing that happened and it's not a part of my life anymore. I don't know.
I don't know. But, you know, Black Hood, main theory is it's this I know he's named this this guy that Jughead keeps going to, he seems to be one of the main serpents running around doing things right now. And he wants to know if they can break FP out of jail. Oh, it's easy.
You know.
It's easy. The sheriff station has less security than the high school.
Which is true. And
It's
that's
true.
I don't think it's as easy as they think it's going to be.
Well,
I think
that's why he
no,
was like, no.
Yeah, he
I
was
think
like,
they'll notice that the only prisoner in town is gone in the one cell that they have.
yeah. So he's like, no, Jug, that's a bad idea. I'm gonna send you to Penny Peabody, which the last name Peabody really I don't remember. I know there's a character in the original
This
comics
this
with.
is this is not a character from the original comics. It's from one of the. So there was that whole trend in the '80s where they were taking famous cartoons and babifying them, making them younger versions of themselves.
Right.
They did that with Archie, and she's a character from that
Gotcha.
series.
So that's probably why I recognized her name. And it also explains why she is an older woman. She's obviously been through law school because that's what she said. The serpents put her through law school so that she's on their side whenever something comes up. But she's a shady lady. She's more shady than a regular lawyer. Because when Jug goes to her, she's like, "No, don't worry, it's a favor. So you'll owe me one." Now I got a really bad Mr. Gold vibe from this. Like Once Upon a Time
That
just came rushing
that's
in. I was
not a
like,
favor.
"Hmm?
That's not what a favor is,
No,
miss.
no."
So I don't know what you're trying to get at. You
Mm-mm.
should know that there's something wrong as soon as she says it's a favor, but you owe me something.
Yeah.
No.
And she just finished saying that Jughead was an intelligent guy, and I was like, "Wait, what? Jughead,
Um,
if you're intelligent, you should have caught on."
you should have, but she was banking on.
he, he just really wants to help us out. He's super desperate, and wasn't paying attention, is what it was.
So now, after watching this, and we know that she is a shady lady. I'm wondering if she knows Mr. Chick. Mr. Chick, I believe that's his name, the brother's name, the Cooper brother.
Hmm.
So I don't know, maybe if they're involved with this whole thing, or maybe she's just another evil entity that we have to fight off later.
I feel like, yeah, that's the case. She's just another bump in the road that is definitely going to cause everybody more problems. Because
We do have
I feel
we
like
have
that favor she's looking for is going to be a little bit out of their reach. And I
maybe
say there as in Archie, Jugs, Betty's, and Veronica's.
well, it's really Jug's
It
problem,
is now, yeah.
but because of that, it's going to be Sandra D's and Archie's problem now,
Hmm.
possibly Ronnie too, maybe Kevin if I remember him and
Yeah.
remember he was a part of this group at one point.
So the whole favor is telling Jug that if he can get one of the blossoms to forgive FP in front of a judge, that it will reduce his sentence even more.
We couldn't have figured that out on our own. Okay.
I I, I don't know. I mean, we've said it. Jughead he's resourceful, but I don't think it's so like he's very blinded right now.
But she gave a piece of advice that I think anyone could have come up with, and she's going to be asking for a favor later. I don't think this is a fair ratio.
No, it's not because FP still gonna have to do time in jail because he has a lot of other crimes he has to pay back for. So, speaking of blossoms, we have Cheryl coming in back into
Mm.
the Vixens cheerleading. She's like, "I'm taken back, and we got a new cheerleader, and it's Josie." And she's like, "I'm not helping out with Pop's Diner. You can take that Death Curse Diner and just go
Whoa,
away."
get on food, bitch.
Hmm. Why, Cheryl? Why?
Well, see, Miss Honey Cabbage has this. She is very delightful at times and very like "fuck you, cunt" at other times. Um, right now, she feels like she has power again, now that she's basically the matriarch of the house now because, Mother Honey Cabbage is incapacitated and like I don't know where the fuck Nana Rolls is. Um, and
Yeah.
now that she's back with the Vixen, she's like, okay, like things are back to where I need them to be.
hmm Yeah, the real mystery is where is Grandma Blossom? Where's Nana Rolls? That's the real mystery of this season.
Like I want to see her because the lady had like she was like completely over her family shit.
hmm
You know, it's like I'm too fucking old. Okay, like I don't want to deal with all like, drug smuggling business. I don't fucking care anymore at this point. Like I just want to die. Can I please? Like you guys will not let me.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, I, I mean, I expected Cheryl to come back and, with like fire under her ass, just like take over everything again, which is pretty much what's happening. But meanwhile, we get Archie and his class sitting there, and Principal Weatherby is announcing the death of Miss Grundy, and Archie just like starts
And
hallucinating
parents
again.
are fucking relieved. Like yes, finally we can take a curfew off.
hmm he breaks down. He starts hallucinating again, and goes straight to thinking that everything is related to him, and
Because
the killings
that's
are
how
going on because of him.
Paranoia.
hmm And he even takes that theory to his dad, and his dad's like, no. But then even after his dad's like, nah, dude, he didn't say it. He didn't say, no, you're crazy. But he's like, get a hold of yourself. That's not the case. They're not related. And he even takes this theory to the sheriff. And the sheriff is like, no, no. And, like, it's not the ex. It's not this person. It's not this thing. They're unrelated. And we also get, well, I mean, Mrs. Cooper says it's not related for different reasons, but like like you're saying, Archie's paranoid, but he might be right. It might be because of him. Cuz he's he might be that kid cuz you know how the family tree is so far in Riverdale. We can assume that it's very very messed up because we found out half of the Coopers are blossoms and it goes on like that. So and we came up with the theory that Mary, Archie's mom, is also a blossom because she's red hair, green eyes. So that would make Archie a blossom as well. So maybe it is all connected to the blossoms. Reeling back all the way to Jason, reeling back to the
no, I
drug
think
trade and
the main plot point that was from last season that we
yes,
still haven't touched upon.
yes. Where is Polly? Uh, we don't know yet.
Where are these damn babies that are supposed to be coming?
Yep, these twins, where are they? We don't know. They haven't even bothered to mention Polly.
No. Did is she on the island with Nana Rolls as well? Along with
Maybe.
Valerie?
Well, and we know that Grandma Blossom really liked Polly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was because they are relatives, actual relatives.
Well, yeah, I don't think Polly didn't know that. Maybe
No.
Nana Rolls did. Well, I think Nana Rolls was. We can only assume that she was alive for that whole, splitting off with the Coopers thing.
Mhm. I have a feeling she knew, and that's why she took to Polly and wanted to kind of protect her a little bit.
Maybe I don't know why she was so supportive of Polly and Jason eloping, unless Jason isn't really a blossom.
Hmm. I don't know who. I think that's Dom on the ASOTV like the channel talking to us. He says, "I love that Nana Roll's real name is Nana Rose, so it still sounds the same."
Yeah, that was the idea.
That was that was totally the idea, and it works really really well. Uh, but where am I? I lost it. Oh
You
yeah,
right.
yeah. We do get the scene where, Betty's mom goes to check on Grundy's body, and we find out that, there's a part in it where the mortician said, "Tell me, Miss Cooper, did you know the victim?" And you just watch her mannerisms, her face, and the way she says no. It's like she knew Miss Grundy,
She
and
didn't.
she knew her well.
Brandy.
Oh, I think she did. I think Miss Cooper knows a lot of people that we haven't even been introduced to yet.
So there is a theory rolling around that she's actually a witch.
Wait, who?
Miss
Miss Grundy or
Betty's mom? Really?
Uh, yeah, that she's that she. There's different variations of it a little bit, but that she's actually part of a family of witches,
Like
and
a coven?
yeah, but she left. She's like the black sheep of the family.
Oh.
or the Black Serpent?
Or yeah,
Yeah, she was from
but
that side of town.
yeah, they brought up some things that she said or different things that happened in season one that could lead to the possibility of that her being a witch.
Hmm.
I mean, we could probably point a lot of fingers at people on this show and be like, "You are a witch. You are a
Ethel,
witch."
where are you?
Exactly. Where the frig is Ethel? I mean, we've seen Reggie, Moose,
Rose is a gypsy.
and a one-off
Well, gypsies are
character.
witches.
I mean, is Midge a character that Midge Clump? Is that a character that really matters? Like, she's like a one-off
I don't
character?
think. I don't think it matters. Coming to the end of this episode.
No, no. Like, I thought she was gonna be something a little bit more, but like, after we find out about Grundy's body, we find out that Pop Tate is actually selling to an anonymous buyer, which we find out is a liquor company called like
Very
Chugmo or something. But
Chugmo. Yeah.
Veronica accuses Hiram, and Hiram's like, nope. And then that leads to
like you lie.
the awkward dinner of the episode.
Where she goes off on him.
Yeah, she goes off on him. She brings out this letter, the threatening letter that made her testify for her father last season.
And her mom lies.
Her mom lies out her butt cheeks and says that she wrote the letter so that she would force Veronica to write the letter, but that's not the case. Hiram really did write the letter.
So of course you did.
Of course he
Did
did.
anybody believe this?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
Not for 1 second. Hermione is his little puppet. There's no other way to put it. She's loyal to a T, and she doesn't see what's happening really. She's just as blind as a lot of the other characters.
what is it called? Stockholm syndrome.
I would say
It's a form.
it's related to it. Yeah, it's a
No, it's Stockholm syndrome. I liked Hermione. At the very beginning of the first season, I think we all did. We agreed that she was probably one of the better parents. But like, what
at
the fuck?
first.
Until she like
And then pooh. Pooh. That's exactly what happened because soon as the prospect of Hiram coming back, she changed gears completely. So, I I don't know, like poor Veronica. Like she wants to do all these good things, but then she has her parents being like, "No, you have to do what we say because you are a lodge." It's kind of related to how the Blossoms were working when the dad was around, where he was calling all the shots, and if they did anything out of line, they got punished for it. So, and we had discussed, last episode, like last podcast, that um, Mrs. Blossom, the mom, probably was the pants in the relationship, and it's very much a possibility. Um, so we got to see Cheryl's new place, though. And I liked how Jughead said that she went full on poison ivy because if you look at that house, it is just
sorry, there's all-
vines and herbs and just like they're living in a solarium with like glass all over the place. It felt very, Harry
Very
Poison
husband.
Ivy. And, that's when they ask Cheryl to forgive FP, and that's another big nope. Everybody's just saying no to everything this episode. But it comes around to Betty, because I think Jughead threw around the idea that, blackmail's the next step. And we turn around and Betty's like, you know what? I'm sick of everything going on. Everybody just giving up. And she goes to Cheryl and she goes, "So I have this tape and it's of your brother and your father." And then Cheryl's like, "Oh shit, what are you saying? Are you threatening me?" "Well, not really, but kinda." And so Betty,
Dark Betty.
yeah, Betty, damn. I
Or
love
just,
Betty when she's like this.
she's always been like this, though.
We don't see it
Well,
that
they
often
say
though.
she's gonna get worse.
She gets the
Mhm.
shit done.
Yeah.
Supposed to get a lot darker, apparently.
Huh. I mean, to be fair, she got pretty crazy dark just out of nowhere last season after the sticky
Well,
maple
yeah,
bull
yeah, that
crap.
random thing, but yeah, but I read, like, I was reading this thing or whatever, and they said that she definitely is planning to get it darker. She's gonna get extremely protective of, of all of them, and especially Jughead.
Well, as she should be, because Jughead's life is going shit.
Hmm. She needs to, you know, she loves him so much. She wants to just provide for him and make him be like the solid pillar in his life, which is nice. It's a nice sentiment, but like if
Sandy, need I remind you that you have a sister who has gone missing, who is pregnant?
I, she's I don't think she's
I'm
missing.
guessing they know where she's at, because she'd be flipping out.
Mhm. They gotta know where she is, otherwise it probably would have came up like, oh no, Polly is missing the babies, and like not. It's not even just Betty and the Coopers. The Blossoms would also be freaking out because these twins are
Right?
monumental for them. Um. Oh God, and then the Reggie trying to bring the drugs to Archie, wearing the mask. You dumb shit. Like Reggie, what did you expect was gonna happen?
And he's like, it was a joke.
It was a prank.
It's
But
like,
he
I dressed as a serial killer who tried to kill you and your dad and your former girlfriend, teacher, lady, creepy thing. Why'd you attack me?
But he had a point though, because he's like only a dumbass brings a baseball bat to a gunfight. And like that's a good point, but Reggie, you still shouldn't have did that.
You shouldn't have did. Well, you know what? Both of these boys are idiots. For completely different reasons. Reggie, I don't
Mhm.
know why. I don't know why the fuck. Whatever. You're a boy, so like, I'll forgive you for that one. But Archie, just,
Ugh.
Archie, what are you gonna do? What are you
What
gonna do?
what is he gonna do really? I mean, he's gonna do is he's gonna go buy a gun from or get a gun from Dilton, whatever his name is. What?
This motherfucker, I completely forgot about.
I know he just appeared out of nowhere. Like what the hell? Uh, what's his Dilton Doyle is what his name is. Like,
Yeah, like the dude who is like convinced that the apocalypse is gonna happen tomorrow, so
yeah.
he's like,
But he wasn't like how he was kind of snivelly and snively last season. He kind of wasn't this season. He seemed pretty calm, and and Archie's like, "I'm not crazy." He says this straight to Dilton's face, and Dilton's like, "Yeah, sure, buddy. Here, have
Well,
your gun."
Dilton still dealt with like guns and stuff and different things, whatever. That's how he got the gun. That's how you need to go
Mm-hmm.
to Dilton. So I don't think he's as snivelly as he is putting on.
I guess. I mean,
He was doing that because he didn't want to get in trouble. Because he saw stuff and he didn't want them to know that he saw stuff. Because he wasn't supposed to be
right.
out there what he was doing.
Exactly. He wasn't supposed to be shooting and
with
stuff like
the
that.
children.
Like children. It just seems like all the kids in high school, they're all 15 for crying out loud, and they're all dealing something. Like Dilton's dealing guns, Reggie's dealing drugs. What's next? Dealing cards? I mean, that's not as bad as the rest, but it's still illegal. For a minor, anyways.
Can we list off the crimes that Archie has done? Because
Can
it's
we
a lot.
list them off? I've lost the list. Like he's done a lot.
He stole the list.
Oh, Archie. I mean, we find out Betty's only going to get better by getting darker, but I think, Archie's also going to get darker, but he's going to lose. He's going to get more stupid.
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 Chillax, boy. Just chillax.
It's Archie is a blossom, doesn't that mean Betty and Archie are cousins?
Yeah, it would mean that.
And you know what? If he was a blossom, it would probably make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Oh, but then he's gonna get all big-headed as soon as he finds that out.
Probably. Yeah, he comes from money and power. I don't know. We already know that he wanted to live like a materialistic life at one point.
Oh
So,
yeah, what they were whoring him out.
yeah. Um, but it comes around that, Betty did her job and, Cheryl goes to court and forgives FP, but also kind of embellishes a little bit when the judge says, no, that's not good enough because, there's like nothing to really, yeah, sure, you're forgiving him, but that he has crimes that he had committed before. And Cheryl's like, well, guess what? My dad threatened him and threatened Jug's life. That's why he did all these things.
Which is true.
It is true.
Cheryl doesn't know that though.
No.
Yeah.
So she was lying about that,
Hearing it.
but not. It's not technically untrue.
No. But like, that's a good thing, right? That, the judge was like, "All right, well, now we have to go back to the drawing board." But then we find out then FP's like, "Did you?" He calls Jug, and he's like, "Jug, did you go to Penny?" And he's like, "Yeah, why?" Oh shit. It was like he couldn't run fast enough away from that phone after telling Jug to stay away from her. He was just like, "I don't know where to hide. I need to hide. Oh my god, what's going on?"
I got scared. Cause like
The snake. I called her the
yeah,
snake tamer.
yeah, that's odd. What is
Yeah.
that?
I, I mean, yeah, she's that lady. She plays the flute when the snake is like dancing out of the basket. She's
Yeah, but I don't know if that's really but like I'm trying to figure out like what's the metaphor here.
The metaphor is if you do something for her, be ready you have to do something for.
But like what
She basically sounds like she has basically has the serpents on.
they're all under her thumb because
Yeah.
she has that power to say, I can help you or I can make it worse for you.
But like FP seemed like you could have built a house with the bricks that he was shitting. So I'm like, what is going to happen? And like I'm fucking interested now. I'm fucking terrified of this woman because FP is terrified. So I'm like,
Yeah.
what is she gonna do? What does she possibly want Juggy to do? And why is it so bad?
So
And I
if
want to see it.
he's so scared of Penny, why would his right hand man, so to speak, this main serpent that's what does FP think of this? Like he seems like he really wants FP's like, acceptance. Why would he send Jug to Penny if he knows so much
Unless
about
Penny
FP?
was trying to pull the strings there too.
Maybe. She probably is. She's probably like maybe she is involved with the shooter. It's like because maybe this guy is
I don't
Black
know that
Hood.
much, but well,
If
yeah.
if this guy is Black Hood and she's pulling the strings, it's all oh boy. I feel like
That is the random killing there at the end. Well, I mean, obviously, maybe this isn't random. But...
I don't think it's random because I've noticed something here.
Okay.
Okay, so at the end of the episode, last shot of the episode, last shot. I didn't mean for that, but
it works.
we have Moose and Midge, who we saw for this episode once.
Hmm.
Never seen her before, but here she is, like her screen debut. Oh, you get shot in the head. They're in the back of Moose's car doing the thing with their jingle jangle and their pixie sticks, and then the dude, who's possibly Sandra Dee's brother, comes up to the car and d-
Just
okay, well, we don't know if they're dead. We don't know if
we
they're
don't
dead.
know if they're dead, but he did. He unloaded
Maybe,
like 7 shots, didn't he?
They're
and
dead. They're dead. Come
well,
on. Now.
maybe they were eating some fries and he shot those.
Anyway.
Those aren't organic. Um, yeah, that is the ending scene of the episode.
But
But
let's look at the people who have been targeted by this guy. So we
mhm,
had um, Mr. Andrews,
mhm,
who was still married to Mary,
mhm,
but had a little thing going on with Hermione back in season 1. And then we had Mrs. Grundy, doing her thing
Child molester.
with, yeah. And we also had, now we have Moose, who, while with Midge, was doing other things with Kevin back in season 1. So I think he's trying to maybe sort of kind of sending a message to people
he's targeting people
as
who
like
are.
maybe
Hmm,
people who are like not faithful, if you will.
okay, that people have been shot for much, much less. And that does make a lot of sense though. Like he does have a motive for these shootings. They're not as random as they're trying to make them out to be.
Because why else would he shoot those two?
Yeah.
Too bad the first thing I thought when all that happened, I was thinking the Zodiac killer. Very reminiscent.
I
Same
think
like era, kind of, the whole. But yeah,
I think we're stretching on that one.
yeah. I just was just me.
It's there's similarities in a way, and you saw them. Um,
Maybe it's like a Jason situation where he just, kills the people who are doing the bad shit, and he's trying to preserve innocence
maybe.
by killing people.
I mean,
I was going by what the whole simulator with the car and the shooting in the car, but okay. You could have pulled that, sure.
Which is
Mine
odd.
mine was so much closer.
We had an American Horror Story episode just this past episode where they do that scene of the Zodiac killer with the car and the whole thing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, I heard about that. Oh, this was
Well,
really good.
he's not the only way. You could do the Zodiac, he's Son of Sam. It's the same
Yeah,
kids hanging out in a car doing things and get themselves killed.
that seems to be. Do kids still do that? Do they
Sit in
like?
cars and do stuff.
Do they
In the
drive
in
out
the
to
I'm
back.
like
sure they
make out
do.
point and like where you're not supposed to be
Well,
parked and
there's no makeout point. What they do is they drive to like the parking lot of a factory that's closed for the night, and they do it there.
Parking an
And ask me
alley.
how-
wow, that's very
Alleys, yeah, alleys or
Alleys are sketchy as shit. Don't go there.
yeah. I mean, if they're that desperate, I mean, we kind of jumped ahead to the end of the episode because it was relevant to what we were talking about, but there's still like one thing we need to talk about, and
You
that
know what?
was the event at Pops.
Oh yeah, that. I
Yeah,
forgot about that.
the
The
event at
whole shebang.
the whole reason why all these stories are coming together in one kind of bow and why all the things happened afterwards. So, the event that didn't seem to be working out too well, but it seemed to pick up as the night went on. And this is where, we mentioned that Mrs. Cooper becomes hyper bitch. Like she goes off on Betty after the night ended, and like she just listed off all the things that went wrong with the night, even though it seemed like to be a success because we had the Pussycats throwing a free song, or
Well, 2/3 of that.
yeah, because Valerie was
And
gone.
and this is the thing, the amazing thing, the miracle that happened. Fucking
Melody,
Melody got a fucking she words.
words were said,
Words
and
came
she
out
sang.
of
That I found that hilarious because we were just talking about how she isn't a real person last
She
podcast, and
probably maybe she isn't. Maybe they finally like did they finished the spell and actually gave her a voice.
It was I liked it. I mean, Betty did a really great job, and even Pop at the end was like, "Yes, thank you, Betty." But I mean, for other reasons, because Hiram donated in quotation marks a good amount of money to keep Pop Tate's open, but really he just bought the place.
No, the only thing that he ever donates was some chromosomes to Hermione.
Yeah. Even Hermione's like, I thought we weren't into charity. He's like, we're not. I bought the place. He's like, oh, it's so good that you're back. And I was just like, what?
He
Like,
didn't say he bought. He just says that apparently
they,
the manager of the place is someone that's under his thumb.
uh, no, he said he bought it, and that in order to keep Pop silent, he said that he could still be the manager of the place. So yeah,
Oh, okay. I guess I thought he.
um,
But now population don't have to worry about paying rent on the place.
that's
So.
true. Yeah, he actually gets paid to run the place now instead of having to pay other people, which is good for him, I guess.
I mean, if they're gonna keep up the facade, then basically nothing has changed.
hmm I mean,
Unless they're gonna do something to the place.
I don't think they would, because I feel like Hiram still kind of cares a lot, and he knows that Pops means a lot to Veronica. Because I mean, honestly,
And Hermione, for that matter.
yeah. But seriously, Veronica, last season, Veronica, near the beginning, do you think she would have put on that uniform and skated around and tossed milkshakes at people?
I think she would have.
No.
Because Veronica, when we met her in season 1, she's still the same as we see her now. The only thing that's changed is that she's suspicious about her mother, more so than she was.
I feel like she would have put up a fight, more or less, but then gave in. I think because she's so close with Betty now, because she's dating Archie, she was
Well,
like, it didn't even phase her. She was like, yes, I'm doing this.
I think she would have because her and Betty were like friends right off the bat. Um, I don't know. It's hard to say. Because she wasn't new, so maybe she was just still getting used to things. But Veronica, I've noticed she hasn't really. The only arc that she went through was defending her father at the beginning of the first season, and then coming to realize that he's not,
A good
so great,
person.
and that everything that everyone has said about him is actually true.
hmm
And it's now interesting to see her finally come face to face with her dad. Well, actually, no, not face to face because she's barely around him. But you know what? I don't blame her because she has allergies. She has allergies. She throws up whenever she looks at him. So she did give him like they had a little talk at towards the end of the episode. She's like, okay, like I feel like you two are trying, so like maybe we could like give this a chance. Like if you just like be like come clean with me and no more secrets, then we'll be good.
hmm
Can we do that, please?
And he's
Like
like,
yeah,
yeah, of course. Anything for you. Yeah, right. Leads right into another lie. Speaking of lies that Hiram is still tossing around, what the fuck happened to Smithers? He's got Andre now? I mean, Andre's good looking, but I want Smithers back.
I will do that.
Andre's good looking.
I don't care. I'm talking about Andre. Who the fuck is Andre?
Andre's the new driver and like
Yeah,
butler
like,
dude.
Butler dude.
like where the fuck did you come from?
Exactly. Like
And where's what did you do to Smithers?
he's
Where is he?
he's at home with his mom. But
Or no, but no. I think his mom is probably dead,
yeah,
and
exactly.
I know that. Is he with Nana Rolls? I'm so upset about this Nana Rolls thing.
I
What the fuck is
know. I was like very like 'cause Veronica she's like, okay, well, I guess that's a good excuse that but like Smithers was her man, like she'd go to him for advice.
Well,
He was
he's trustworthy.
yeah,
Just sleep in the house.
but
And then we're gonna find out next episode. We're gonna have Hiram come up to Veronica like, Veronica, I'm so sorry, Smithers died. He was hit by a.
Fire bus.
Hey, father, what's that bus doing outside? Nothing. I wasn't driving it.
Oh, I mean that for me that was like the I want to say the biggest question for me is like what happened to Smithers? And I mean, other than I think when Cheryl and Mom watched the video of what happened to Jason, that's pretty much everything in this episode. Like a lot of shit happened. It was a big, long, convoluted episode. I mean, it felt long, but I mean, it's the same length as all the other ones. Just so much happened. And then we have all these, questions that, aren't going to be answered for quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
Now that this show has been extended for this season, 22 episodes.
Hmm.
I'm hoping that we get. Okay, so last season we had like maybe one episode that I consider filler,
Hmm.
and I'm hoping we don't get any of that
That
this
it's
season. So like what I mean
story.
by filler, and like there's some people who toss around that word filler episodes, but like here's what filler actually means, is that it's an episode that has no effect on either the story or the characters coming into the next episode.
Hmm.
So that's what, yes, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about, filler.
Yeah.
And I don't want any of that. And so this episode, I feel like maybe there were things or like storylines that maybe you could have waited until another episode and give them more attention.
Hmm.
Because I'm just afraid that we've had so much packed into this one that there will be other times where we're like, okay, you're focusing on this thing, but I don't want you to, and it really doesn't matter. Can we go back to the other things that were talked about in this episode?
Yeah. I feel exactly the same way. Like sitting here watching, I had to watch it at least 3 times before I could make sure that I had everything I could figure out possibly to talk about properly. And it's just there was a lot of like you said, storylines that needed special attention, and they could have saved other ones for another day. Um, and then that also comes to like, maybe giving, like they claim they were going to do, giving characters like Kevin and the Pussycats more screen time. You
So like
know,
you claim that Jesse Pussycats are going to get more screen time, and Valerie is just absent from this episode.
exactly. And Kevin said like what 3 words this episode. So I know what they're trying to do. They if you give them a little bit of screen time in each episode, it still kind of counts. But
No,
that's
it
not what
doesn't.
we want. That's not what
That's
we
not what we
want.
want. We're sitting here complaining about it.
Hmm. I mean, other than uh, well, is there anything else you guys want to bring up or?
We just need more Kevin and need more Valerie.
Hmm.
That's all we need, and then we'll be good. And then maybe
Um,
Archie can take a vacation for a few episodes, and then we'll also be better.
Red Bandit says, "What did you think of the Pussycats concert on top of the diner?"
Uh,
It was interesting.
uh, it was interesting. How the fuck did you get up there?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, how did you get up there?
Could you imagine all like the bird plop up there and like seriously, that's a place I wouldn't want to go on top of. I feel like the top of the diner hasn't been cleaned in a while.
It's
Well,
a
they
cool
did clean
image,
everything,
but
so maybe they did clean it.
Maybe they did go up there and clean it because they were cleaning up earlier in the episode.
yeah, I don't know. Well, I was just like, it looks cool. Okay, it looks cool. Pussycats on top of the neon sign. That's cool. But like, just the whole time, I kept thinking to myself, like, how?
How? I
Like,
mean,
was there a deleted scene of them with the ladder in front of the diner, just awkwardly climbing up it, and then one of them fell and they ate shit and
yeah, it was
climbed up
Cheryl.
it. It was just an hour
Cheryl's
before
on your shit.
it was just an hour before they actually got up there.
I mean,
Uh,
the song choice was interesting as well. It worked well.
it works well, but just the implications of that song.
Yeah, I know
Uh,
the actual lyrics of the song, but like,
yeah. So it's like,
mm,
oh, it's cute because they're doing it at at a malt shop, but
So it's about, yeah.
it's not about
these are
actual milkshakes, guys and gals.
these are 15-year-old girls, mind you.
hmm Yeah. Uh, so that's everything. Oh, okay.
I think we
Uh,
know the show that none of them are innocent. No
yeah.
innocentness going on.
There's
Yeah,
no innocence.
Melody is so innocent. I don't know what you're talking about.
She's
She's not human.
actually Salem. Um,
She's a black cat, if you will. That was
yes.
bad.
Ooh.
Uh,
Next episode is chapter 16, The Watcher in the Woods.
Oh,
Frust-
reference.
is
Oh
it?
my god.
Is
That
it?
is a reference, and I don't expect anybody to know what that reference is. Watcher in the Woods is a really great, legitimate horror movie that Disney did in the 80s. I recommend that to everybody. If you can find it, watch it. It's really good.
Okay. Watcher in the Woods. Go
Way
look
to
for
go.
it.
Riverdale, you with your Disney references. Okay.
well, yeah, they're all of the titles are Disney, or not Disney, but movie
They're
titles.
movies.
Okay. Frustrated by the lack of progress made in catching his father's shooter, Archie takes matters into his own hands in order to send the gunman a message. Meanwhile, Veronica is thrilled when Hiram's attempt to start fresh means she gets to introduce him to her friends, including Archie. Oh boy. Elsewhere, Jughead starts his first day at Southside High and is befriended by a Southside serpent named Tony, while Kevin's attempt at having a little fun causes Betty to grow concerned for his safety.
Oh dear.
Finally, an unexpected turn of events leads the town to realize their darkest chapter may be far from over.
Somebody
What?
else dies.
Yep, and I'm glad we actually got Kevin in the synopsis, so maybe he'll get more than 10 seconds.
But is Kevin gonna be making the stupid decisions? Because I don't want that.
Yeah, I mean,
Kevin,
he.
you're better.
Do you remember when they went out to the club with Veronica?
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
But they were just having a bit of fun.
that's
Actually, no. How the fuck did you get in the club?
because she bought them off. That
They
was
had fake IDs.
Yeah, they had fake IDs, and that was the night where Veronica was like, "F you, mom, I'm rebelling." But yeah, so I guess that's this week's episode, and so I have music that I'm supposed to be playing. It's really loud. Oh God. Kim,
Oh,
where can the
no.
people find you?
On Twitter, NHUFFITY,
Jake.
You can find me here on YouTube at Dig Up Salazar. All my goals and gore monsters of mayhem, or you can find me on Twitter, @2meets.life at Tinoverland, that's TONOWHERELAND. Join the Noverland Society.
And you can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LADYVEM, letters. You can find us and more as ASOTV Podcast on YouTube, Google+, Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, places. Google us, we're there. And also, you'll be able to find us on Twitch soon, doing our live podcasts, our live shows on Twitch.
Alert
And
yourself to Twitch if you do not have a Twitch account already.
yeah,
Make one. It costs nothing.
zero.
So that's great. Isn't that great, you guys? And we won't have, some more of these shit shows that we've been having lately.
And if you have Amazon Prime, you get extra stuff.
That's true. So, that's our show, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm supposed to be on the screen right now. Thanks!
Bye!
Later!